About 2 weeks ago, in a bid for independence, my son asked that I would stand 100 feet away so he could feed the goats by himself. I chose to stand 20 feet away, fearing that I would lose sight of him in the crowd. But as fate would have it, my son was easy to spot, especially for the goats, who immediately realized that a small child was now in charge of a large basket, and whose heads began popping up from every direction in the zoo, eyes big as windmills transfixed on that basket, and then heading toward it with great enthusiasm. And so it was that I was easily able to pick out my son out of the entire crowd. Because of the 200 children there, he was the only one trying to outrun a stampeding herd of baby billy goats. Everyone else is laughing, having a good time. There's my kid, serpentining through the zoo grounds, a paparazzi of cracker-crazed billy goats in hot pursuit. Now, I'm no genius, but I could tell even before he hurled that basket to the ground in an effort to escape, my son had envisioned a slightly different outcome to this event. Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, the phrase, "I thought I knew what I was doing," inevitably follows a life event that goes so off the rails bad that the memory to this day will still make us hang our heads and cringe in embarrassment. Who here has a memory makes them shudder every time they think? Yes, we are all victims, survivors of fate's cruel sense of humor. We have all uttered that deprecating phrase, "I thought I knew what I was doing." I sprint to my son. I give him a hug. I dab the tears from his eyes. And I say, "Looks like all the goats got a cracker, so you did a really good job." Still kind of scary though, huh? Well, sometimes things go wrong. It happens to everyone, even me. That reminds me, did I ever tell you the time I tried to fight a snake? His eyes get big. "You got into a fight with a snake?" Well, sort of. And taking his hand in mine and making our way back to the car, I tell him the story. I'm 13. It's night. My parents are in the back study, my dogs are in the fenced backyard, and I'm watching TV. During a commercial break, I get up, flip on the floodlights, check if the dogs want to come in. They don't, so I glance at their food and water, when a gleam sparkling off the floodlight catches my attention. I step onto the patio and I notice there's a low-lying shape along the fence line. And as I approach a little closer, it's a coil shape stacked about 8 inches high, a diamond-shaped eye glistening in the night. That's a rattlesnake. I've got to protect the family. I usher the dogs inside, I grab my favorite baseball bat from the garage, and I head back out to face that venomous enemy. I don't bother telling my parents because, as I mentioned, I was 13. You know, a grown-up. Besides, I had a plan. Which, looking back, really was nothing more than, "Please, I hope I don't get bit." But back then, I was undaunted by my lack of survival skills. And I was already making my way through the shadows like a ninja in the night. And at 30 feet away, I was in total stealth mode. At 12 feet away, the snake still looked toward the light, seemingly unaware of my approach. At 8 feet away, I take one last deep breath. And at 3 feet away, warm snake parts exploding across my face and chest, even in my mouth as I yelled during the insult. And then my nose began to register this unmistakable pungent odor of dog manure. And I looked down at what remained of the pile. That is not a snake. To this day, I have no idea what my dogs ate to leave behind a shiny eye-shaped trinket in that pile, but I dropped that bat, turned slowly, and made the long journey back to the house. I was dripping as I walked, as though I were Hansel and Gretel, leaving behind a trail of breadcrumbs. I walked very carefully, but with a mouthload of fresh snake parts, gagging and retching with every step till I reached the door. "Mom! Dad! Eventually my parents show up, and there's my mother, father looking back and forth. My mother, "What happened to you?" "I thought of a snake." And immediately they start howling with laughter because apparently their kid covered in dog poo is just the funniest thing they've ever seen. My father, bent at the waist, falling onto the patio, rolling on the ground, unable to catch his breath from the hilarity of it all. My mother, her big red face shrieking with laughter, pounding on the outside wall with her fist between every snort and guffaw. Me praying this night would just end, but they were laughing clear into next month. They composed themselves just long enough to throw me a bar of soap, a jug of mouthwash, and spray me down with a hose. It took 2 weeks, I guess it was 2 weeks, 5 cases of Clorox, and about 11 layers of skin. I finally started to feel clean again. My mouth has never gotten over that evening. I believe it's true what they say. 20,000 metric tons of Listerine can only do so much. Now, I'm finishing this story as I pull the car into the driveway, and my son is laughing. And I'm thinking, I'm Father of the Year because I just got my kid through a traumatic experience by myself. I should give a medal for this. I should get some sort of a prize. Maybe they'll name a street after me. But it's okay because he's still laughing. We're in the driveway, we're heading into the house, and we're joking around, having a good time. And I enter the door, and there's my wife curled up on the couch reading a book. My prize. And my son comes from behind me and he says, "Mom!" And he jumps up on the couch next to her. And I walk in, going in for my well-earned kiss. And just before our lips meet, my son says, "Did you know Daddy poop?" Oh, the betrayal. I did not see that coming, and I should have, because he's 4, and 4-year-olds always repeat anything they're not supposed to, which no doubt explains why he told all of his friends and our neighbors, all my coworkers, all of whom called my parents, who were more than happy to fill them all in on exactly what happened that evening. Oscar Wilde was right. No good deed goes unpunished. I went from inspiration, Father of the Year, to inspiration for every punchline and limerick in my neighborhood. Even my wife is joking, "Stay away from my toothbrush." I know it's all in good fun, so this too shall pass. But I can't help but wonder, of all the embarrassing moments in my life, why would I tell them that story? I was 4 once. I know how 4-year-olds process information. Why would I tell them that story? Oh, that's right. I thought I knew what I was doing! And then it processed.